Welcome to another episode of Two Brothers, Same Mother. Of course, you got the younger guy here, Sheik, and the older guy in the rocking chair, AJ. Drinking a beer. So we're just going to jump into it with the reaction to I know people make fun of moral victories and all that stuff, but for a team that's growing, everything on this team just about seems to be young. It's one of the youngest rosters in the league. It is the youngest coaching staff in the league. Tell me some of the stuff that you took out of that Chargers-Eagles game, which was the last-second loss.
My stance hasn't changed on Jonathan Gannon. I'm just not a fan. And as far as the offense goes, this is what I expected. Maybe not play calling, but I mean as far as competitiveness, being in games back and forth, mixing a run with the pass. And now, like earlier the first 7 weeks, Sirianni was like overly passing. But now he's like kind of running. It's a fine line. So where is that line? Before it was like, I think Hurts was like 33, averaging 33 to 35 passes a game the first 7 weeks. Now, over the last 2 weeks, he's thrown just 31 passes. And so it's kind of, so to me, it's like maybe like 24 is maybe the magic number, roughly.
Well, to be fair, it was working. You played two of the worst run defenses in the league. Denver is not that. You saw what Denver did to Zeke and Tony Pollard. There, you're going to need to have some sort of true balance. I think that it has gotten to the point where people are so used to Jonathan Gannon letting this defense do what it does or not do, that people now want to criticize what has been progressive and positive, whether it's Hurts missing that throw with Goddard, which, let's be fair, Goddard should have had that. It was a bad pass, but Goddard should have had that. Or, Darius Slay one-on-one with Mike Williams, who is a Pro Bowl caliber player, that play happening. When ultimately the problem is that if you look at some of these, Aaron Rodgers might have 28 incompletions over the course of 2 games because he's out of this world. Quarterbacks have thrown 28 incompletions total over the past 5 games. And let me remind you, that's included people like Jared Goff. You know what I mean? You can't win that way. You can't win that way. And I get not wanting to give up the big play, but, is there anything beyond what we've already said that could fix this defense?
My thing is I get Slay gave with the big play, but he was right there, Mike Williams. But I get it. But I'm cool with that if you end up clamping down like you did on that first drive. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Their first drive. But you had a quarterback that in Jalen Hurts that was, I think if Jalen Hurts gets another opportunity in that fourth quarter, we win that game. He had one offensive possession that whole fourth quarter. That's crazy.
It's sad because, you have a guy in Hurts who we know he's a little limited, but he's a project quarterback, and you actually are starting to see him get a little better. The competitiveness is always there. Now, it's a little weird. I heard someone say this, and I kind of agree. The Eagles did the opposite of what you should have did. You should have taken a lot off. You should have had very little bit on his plate, really leaned on the run game, and then allow him to do a little more as the year went along, as opposed to asking the guy to throw for 50 times, and now you got him throwing for 15. Once again, the past 2 weeks it worked. Hey, right. I will say, on that fourth quarter drive, Hurts looked pretty good throwing the ball.
Yeah, like I said, man, listen, everybody wants to talk about, he missed this throw, like the ball ESP. We lost this because of the passing game, and he missed. Like, we literally died. Now, the man threw, like you said, like 19 passes or something. And he missed, like, 3 throws. And it's not like he was, like, 7 for, like, 12. Like, I mean, even that is still good. I don't know. When he threw, to me, he looked much improved. And from where he did at the beginning of the year. And that's what I wanted to see. You get what I'm saying?
Bottom line, it comes to points, right? And I thought it'd be like the average about 24 points, and actually I was correct. This year, teams are scoring on average 24.7 points a game. Now, some of that, let's not forget, you have games where the Patriots beat the Jets 50-10 and stuff like that. And you had
We beat the
Chargers
Lions 44 to whatever.
44-6, which is still, but that still averages out to 25, you know what I mean, per team.
Right.
Last year, the pace was 23.6. Here's my point, man. It's to ask your defense to hold a team to 24 points or less in this NFL is asking the defense to be average. I don't think we've held a team under 24 points, except maybe Atlanta with the Lions we did, and Atlanta we did,
and Carolina.
And look, they're all W's. As far as scoring, Philly's 11th in scoring. Okay, and now you can look at that Lions game and say, well, the Lions game throws it out of whack. But also, as you mentioned, if we have the ball last, if we get that ball back with a minute 55 to go, I think we tie the game and we win it. I mean, I just had confidence in that. And that's pretty awesome to have that kind of confidence in your quarterback now, regardless of what you feel about Jalen Hurts. And there's a lot of poison in Philadelphia. And this is one of those things where I'm hearing it a lot from the media of Jalen Hurts is the problem and draft a quarterback at all costs. Even if he's only half good, it's better than Jalen Hurts. It's almost the same thing with people, even though Lamar Jackson has won an MVP, people still call him a running back playing QB. It's what it is. But I did want to – what's that?
No, I was going to say yesterday, Donovan J. McNabb, Five will always love you. He made a good point, though. He said, I know we're getting – he said that he's seeing progress in the quarterback and in the play calling and stuff like that. You know what I mean? This is a man that I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is Donovan McNabb, but he could be somewhat with the style of plays of comparable to a young Donovan McNabb. That's the only thing, the athleticism aspect of it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
Donovan had a way better arm, but Jalen Hurts
Donovan was
a lot more athletic.
Yeah. Donovan was not a project quarterback. You know what I mean? He just needed to become into a pro system. But like you look at, like he said, you see Hurts the last 2 weeks progress. He broke it down. But he said the defense is an issue. But another thing with the defense, and this is where I'm going to cut Gannon's a little slack. It's the personnel.
But this is where I get mad again. And I saw a play where he had 4 men coming, but what he did was that he had 4 men lined up. He had Derek Barnett on the left-hand side drop back into coverage, and he blitzed a linebacker off the right.
Okay.
Which is fine. However, Derek Barnett dropped into coverage like he had his eyes closed. When he dropped back into coverage.
Who you going to put there? In that package, that's a blitz package that a lot of teams run. Once again, that's a personnel issue.
Sure, but
who better than Derek Barnett to do that? And that's what I'm saying. And then we kill him when he just stays vanilla. That's what I'm saying.
I feel what you're saying too, but it is a personnel issue. But if your personnel can't do it, why call it?
Then what are you supposed to do? You got to try something. Then
I get it.
Demolished. Then we beat them for staying vanilla and just rushing 4-man fronts.
I get it, but my thing is, and this is not killing Gannon. This is just kind of because you're right. You want to see him try something, right?
Try something.
How about 5 or 6 people rushing the QB, as opposed to it doesn't always have to be 4. 88% of the plays are all 4 men or less.
But what I'm saying is all right, you rush 5 dudes. Most teams have a running back, a tight end, and 3 receivers. There's 5 people in front. Now you got everybody masked up man on man. And if they have a blitz beating a quick slant with the receivers that they have, you get what? Once again,
sure, but if you run 4 and you're 7 or 8 off the play, you're going to get that anyway.
No, exactly. It's a personnel issue.
Right.
He's thinking the quarterback's not expecting Derek Barnett to drop in the coverage, and based off of what he's done, he's not expecting.
I see what you're saying. If Kerrigan's there or Patrick Johnson or Jannard Avery, that might tip somebody off. Hey, something's going on here. Where
right?
I see what you're saying.
But
it,
if that's BG in that situation, BG might make the play.
true. Like, listen, man, the biggest complaint I have about our defense right now is I don't feel it's aggressive enough, period. And that's all it is. Like, and that's not just blitzing. That's, get up in a receiver's face. You get up in a receiver's face and you just lose at the line of scrimmage. As long as it's not, you don't lose, don't get blown out. Things happen, but and it's the adjustment mid-game. Like, if they're having the ball for 7 minutes and scoring a touchdown, that's not helping. If our offense is doing great and they're going to score a touchdown, I'd rather them scoring 3 than 7 and give our offense more time. I mean, that's a horrible game plan, but
But I would rather, if it's 3rd and 15, you get what I'm saying? And you send, like you said, the 2 linebackers a double A-gap blitz and then the 5 just try to. I'm cool with the 2 deep safeties. I'm fine with that. But first and 10, 2nd and 3, 2nd and 3 and the fucking safeties are chilling at Xfinity Live parking lot. Like, come on, man.
Let's get this, and this is where it's simple. This defense performs way better when it's 3rd and 5 or more for the offense. That's true for every defense, but this one in particular, way too many times, if they do get a team in the 3rd down, it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. You get them in 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7, partly because of the fact so little do we have a team in 3rd down. But you're going to win that.
And then when we do get a team in 3rd down and 6 or 7 or 8, dipshit, your buddy number 96 jumps off sides.
Well, that's not my buddy. I just explained he was doing coverage with his eyes closed.
Well, he must be at the line of scrimmage with his eyes closed because he keeps jumping offside when we actually get a team in 3rd and long to get them in 3rd and manageable every week.
So the play that set up the Chargers for the field goal was kind of wasn't a screen play, but it was like halfback went to an out and then, got 25 yards. And if you notice, Nick Sirianni was freaking out on the sidelines. If you look back, it's because they had an offensive lineman 6 yards down the field before they threw the ball. Right. And this team has been called on that to the point where they've removed certain things out of their playbook over and over and over and over again. And it's to where it's not that egregious, but it's still penalty to penalty. And then to not get that call hurts. You can't depend on the refs or anything like that. I also bring this up because if you watch the Monday Night Football game with Bears and Steelers, which I understand a lot of people didn't, but actually turned out to be a really good game. There was, and I'm not exaggerating, about 7 or 8 extremely bad calls. I mean, calls where the Bears scored a touchdown and they called a chop block where the chop block happened at the line of scrimmage and he didn't even touch the guy, where it was legal. There was a pass interference penalty that was called where the defender didn't touch the guy or the ball. Like, there was bad stuff. And the Bears still almost won.
I heard the so I didn't really watch a lot of it, but I watched the highlights. I heard that the referee crew was from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well, the question I have for you, as a coach, when a call like that really does affect the outcome of a game, because if that play doesn't happen and they're backed up and now it's 3rd and 25 for the Chargers or 2nd and 25 and you're out of field goal range, that changes a lot. How do you approach your team to make sure that they don't focus on that and almost like empower them? Like, look, we always hear the cliche thing, man, if you're putting the game in the ref's hands, then you already lost and stuff. But like,
right. Yeah, it's all you do is just keep repeating the guys. Because that doubt's going to set in. It's just keep your focus. That's all you can really say. There's no strategy. You just got to keep your focus, because it's kind of like when your girlfriend / wife is mad at you. There's nothing in that moment. There's nothing you can say or do to make the situation better. You just kind of gotta stay the course and wait till that blood pressure comes out, right? So
I think a lot of lot of coaches feel like refs are like a angry wife or girlfriend that they just never reconcile with. You can't do any right, and even when you're in the right, you're wrong.
Okay. Oh, no problem. Okay, whatever you want.
One more quick question before we move on. Is Jordan Howard right now, even when Miles Sanders come back, your number 2 running back? Like, to me, I'm working out a long-term deal right now.
Fucking week 1.
If you do not sign that man to a long-term deal, he's 26? He's going to get picked up by somebody else. You don't think the Tennessee Titans would have loved to have Jordan Howard right now instead of having, the crypt keeper Adrian Peterson out there who looked bad?
He did score.
I mean, it wasn't because of him. My man was running straight up and down like this. Like,
listen, that man, 38 years old, running in the NFL.
Right. He's 36, but
more power to you, my guy.
All right, so we're going to talk about the Broncos-Eagles games during our picks, but we have the 5-pack of questions coming up here too. Keep it locked here. Two Brothers, Same Mother.